Hello, family. Welcome back. I want to bring you an update on how things are progressing. For those of you who believe in spiritual warfare, as I do, you are not surprised by things that Satan throws at us as we attempt to do what God has called us to do. For those of you that don't believe, this may come as a shock because the severity of the actions of Satan can be rather drastic. I want to show you something. The picture you're looking at now is a picture of my house. This is actually in a building right behind the house, even though it looks like the house is on fire. The building is about a 5,200 square foot shop that my father had built a business in, and it has been since then emptied of his work and has become a storage place, much like a garage for the family. Because it was convenient and it had many aspects that a normal garage would not have, I stored a lot of my inheritance in terms of some museum pieces that were part of what I was hoping to build. But it was actually my personal property because it was inherited from my father. So it wasn't business related. And yet, my insurance doesn't cover the true value of those things that was out there. In addition to that, a lot of my early leftover recording projects, pancakes, things that belong to music from the studios in my entire early days, I had lost a lot of things through floods prior to this, but it's all gone now. As a result, I would like to recreate some of my studio projects, but none of them, of course, have their real value covered. Those projects ranged, there was an early live album out there for $800 down to a full stage production that we had MIDI and equipment and all kinds of stuff in there. And we probably had about $8,000 to $12,000 worth of stuff there. We had staging pieces worth $68,000 to $72,000, depending on how we could track exactly what was in there. I'm not totally sure, but at least $68,000 was in there. And then we had other things. And so there's tons and tons of stuff, some of which the insurance will cover, most of which it won't. Because when you look at asset values, I mean, you're talking about what the value of a raw tape, which is just the value of the physical substance, versus the amount of money that you spent in the studio to get that tape out of there. I mean, we spent, our most expensive album for our record label was $113,000, and anything commercial in that sense, that belong to the company, they don't cover that at all. So that's all gone. And so there's a lot of loss involved here. And this is just part of Satan's action against the fact that we're trying to be obedient to God right now, record an album. And that album has some very specific things to say about the reality of what's going on in the world, including governments and including the free nations and the West and all of that. We have something to say that we believe God has put on our heart. And as a result, we are suffering a huge financial loss. We're also suffering a lot of stress from the situations that occur. And it's not just me, it's my whole team. There's been amazing amounts of delays and incapacities and just things that have happened. And I show you the fire because I want you to see how real it is. I want you to see how destructive it is. Anyway, we've lost a lot. We are still simply trying to go ahead and do the things that God's called us to do, because we don't worship mammon, and the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. We're not trying to replace it all, but we are looking for enough flexibility to move forward. The insurance company will help us rebuild a building. It won't be what it was because they're not going to give us that much. They're going to give us a sizable chunk, but nothing that will actually replace what we had, and certainly not in any way get close to what the content's true value was. So I put that in front of you to encourage you to give to help our projects come along. Again, it's not about fixing the past. It's about going forward into the future. We love you. We'll see you later.